Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're back. We're back, Adam. We are. It's been a madness. It has. It's been an absolute madness. We told you we weren't going anywhere. It's just been a bit crazy last 2 weeks. You've been at Celebration last week, so obviously we couldn't do that. We didn't want to break up the what's it called the routine kind of thing by doing it because we record on a Friday and then I render it overnight Friday whilst I'm at work Saturday and then put it up, blah, 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 and all that jazz. And it's a nice little routine and it's ready for Saturday and it's, you know, um,
A lovely pattern.
a lovely pattern. So we didn't want to break it. So I know it's been a couple of weeks without any Star Wars and coffee and we were just getting into a rhythm, but, when I'm not going to make him do one when he wants to go in and enjoy Star Wars. And that's what this podcast's all about, is enjoying Star Wars. So while he were at, Celebration, he were just enjoying his send. Do you know what I mean? There's not been that many tweets or like that, and it would nice just to have a couple of weeks, just chill. Do you know what I mean? Um, but we are back. This might actually, well, what we got. So no, we've got. So this won't be the last one because we've got Fallen Order next week. We can talk about. Well, we'll not be able to talk about Fallen Order next week because we'll be recording the day that Fallen Order comes out.
Yeah, we'll
So
get
we
it.
might have to push it back a couple of days next week so we can play a bit of Fallen Order and then
Yes.
do you know what I mean? So we can play a bit of Fallen Order and then we can the podcast might come out like Monday Tuesday time so we can get our thoughts on it and then the week after we'll do another one. I'm guessing me and Adam will have both finished it by then and we can talk about it. Blah 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 blah
I
blah.
hope so. Love.
And then when that's finished, we got May the 4th. We're obviously going to do one for May the 4th. Um, Well, in fact, it's probably a good idea to get the first Fallen Order one out on May the 4th.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
so it's ready for May the 4th, and then on May the 4th we can both, you know, we both have our
Go through.
routines that we do on Star Wars Day. I mean, I have certain things that I do with certain people, and what's it called out Visions.
Visions. Yes.
So we
It is.
can
Yeah.
talk about that as well. And then it'll probably stop. Star Wars and Coffee will stop for a couple of weeks. And we'll change it up. Obviously, if there's news out and it's worth talking about, we'll do an episode.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's worth doing an episode for stuff like, they've shown a location for Star where they're gonna. Do you know what I mean? It's not worth doing it. You're not getting a full hour's podcast out of that. So that's my opinion
Yeah.
anyway. But then, like I said in the other episode a couple of weeks back, obviously Secret Invasion starts soon, so we'll just do like Marvel Mondays or something like that.
Yeah.
Now it's coming to summer, a lot of movies being released, so the movie side of stuff will come back, things like that. So, and I'm sure we'll figure some other stuff out. We didn't do many trailer reactions for the Star Wars stuff because
Yeah.
obviously Adam were there and I was at work and I couldn't wait to watch it. I'm sorry. The little child in me saw the Ahsoka trailer
I
and
mean, no, actually, I was just gonna say we could do like our own like little opinions on what could possibly happen in certain
yeah,
shows.
so I will
But
save that for a week where it's like
yeah,
where
a
it's a
bit more
bit dead. We
content
can,
after.
but maybe leading up to Secret Invasion, we just do like 1 week we're doing Andor season 2, 1 week we're doing Ahsoka, 1 week
Yeah,
we do
that's
a.
a shout.
Do you know what I mean? And just talk on
Yeah.
our opinions on what we'd like to see from these shows and what have you, and our predictions, and then see if they come. And then that's content for this. There might only be like 30 minutes at that point, but I mean, it's still some content. Do you know what I mean? So,
It's
I think
better
that's
than
the
better.
best way of doing it. So,
Yeah.
what I mean, I say I don't think we go too in depth into Celebration because everybody knows what we're there. Just get your feelings.
Yeah.
Like I didn't go, but you've been to a couple now, haven't you?
Yeah, so this was my second one. First time we went on. I think it was a Sunday actually, Saturday or Sunday.
That was
And
abroad, wasn't it?
no, so I went to the last one that was in over in London.
Okay,
I think
yeah, yeah.
about 2016. Um,
So, how did they
again,
compare?
compare wise, so it'll be a little bit different because obviously I only went for one day the first time. I
Hmm.
went for all four this time, but saying that the security was better. It was better organized. Like from what I've been hearing about this new, like from the one we went to this year, the security was poor and like the
I heard that.
organization was very
Yeah.
poor.
Ant messaged
Um,
me and said it's gone hectic. It has.
yeah,
So
there was something that I'd read on both Facebook and Twitter that somebody had actually gotten into the convention and ended up stealing £12,000 worth of Star Wars stuff.
fucking hell. I
Um,
mean,
but if that's true, that goes to show on how poor that security
I'm
was.
gonna say when in Rome.
I mean, well, that's it. It's like it's a big convention.
If you can
They're
get
gonna
away
have
with it,
expensive stuff
yeah.
there. People are gonna want to buy it anyway.
Hmm.
So it screams it. And if you're not tight on security, of course it's gonna happen.
So
So that sort of says it all.
from what I saw, I think Bespin sent Ant a picture, and they were in
Oh
like
mate,
the
yeah,
main
the
hall where the
hallway
Costa
going
were and what
down,
have you, and it just looked
mate.
carnage
Horrible. Mate, you weren't. It's not even you were shoulder to shoulder. You were like chest to
inside other
chest.
people, pretty
Yeah,
much.
you were literally inside of them, and don't get me wrong. Like people were clearly just wanting photos and walking about, but they were empty units.
Yeah.
Like
It,
they
um,
could have easily just said, "Look, if you're wanting if you're wanting photos with other cosplayers, go into this unit." And it was like
yeah.
a full-on massive unit that just wasn't getting used. It was open but never getting used. But again, though, that's down to organizers because as well there were no barriers saying to go up
Well,
one
that's what
platform,
I
down
saw. There
another.
were. It looked like there were just no barrier
So
system whatsoever. It
yeah,
was just everybody just
it was
jam
just
packed into a hall.
chaos.
And when you give that many people that are that excited, so you know the
Yeah,
rush. Do you know what I
exactly.
mean? Like you open the doors and everybody rushes in. That's
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
going to happen. So that to me, it's not
yeah,
down to the
exactly.
fans and not because everyone's excited. Everyone's paid the
No,
money. Everyone's there.
it's
It
down to the
the
organizers.
organisers just didn't organise it. Like it looked like
Yeah,
I even said to Ant, and I said this to you, like if I'd have opened the doors and I saw that inside, that's enough to make me go nah. Like it don't matter
yeah,
how much money I've paid, I'm not going in there. Do you know what I mean? And I get that these
yeah.
places are busy, but when it's just carnage like that,
It
that's
was.
insane, and it's a risk to people's lives as well, in my opinion. Like we've
Yeah.
seen it at football games back in the early
Oh yeah.
'80s and stuff like that. You let too many people in, and
And
but you were saying to me
yeah.
the other day as well, weren't you, that people were getting in and they didn't even have badges and stuff like that.
Yeah, so there are a few people that were able to get in because they did because like I say the security was that bad that they weren't even checking your badges. So they were just letting people in and people were getting in without a badge.
I
So
wish
it
I'd
was
have gone
like
now.
like all that you pay all that money and the security was that poor and the don't get me wrong, like the experience itself for me personally, I thought it was incredible. I loved it because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go for the 4 days and just smash my money away on
Yeah,
everything Star Wars, which I did. But like
but
at the end of the day, you've got to look obviously as well, like security and
yeah,
organization,
no,
and
yeah. The organisers need
So
to take a look at themselves at some point and go,
yeah,
"This
they
were
should,
on us." Do you know what I mean? I was saying to Ant because you know me and Ant were saying obviously we're not that bothered about going this time around. We'd like to, but I
yeah,
I would prefer
we're not
my
looking.
first experience of a Star Wars celebration to be like an
Absolutely.
America. Japan is
Absolutely.
very tempting for me because Japan is one of my all-time places I've wanted to visit. But then, obviously, me and Adam come up with. I'm a big anime fan as well. I think I'd need to remortgage the house to go to Japan because the amount of money I'd spend on anime and fucking Star Wars would be ridiculous. So I don't actually think Japan's the best one to go for. I think you said you were going for the one after Japan.
Yeah, so because when Ant came in when I was next in, Ant came in and he was saying that he's thinking about going, and I said to him that it's very considerable at the minute for me. Like I do want to go to it because one, Japan's a nice country anyway, so I just want to visit it. But at the same time,
I mean,
I
if
would rather wait year after and go to where Star Wars was originated.
yeah, I get what you're
Theme park.
saying. I would rather that as well. But if you two came to me and said, "Look, I'm doing Japan. Are you coming?" That's enough for me to make Japan
Yeah,
better. You know,
yeah,
if it
exactly.
was an either go to the one after on your own or go to Japan with two of your friends, then I'd prefer to go to the Japan one because I'd like to experience. I wouldn't want to be there on my own. Do you know what I mean? I think the experience. I know you're at Star Wars, but I think the experience of being with friends and other people, and I know you're going to make friends there and what have you, but like your closest friends that have got the same passion as what you have, that for me alone is enough to just go to that one. If because when they did the London one, we didn't know that we. I didn't know that you were going, and Ant didn't know that. Do you know what I mean? So we'd not all organised kind of thing. I think if we'd have all gone, and I think if
Let's
they'd had
all.
announced it a bit better, because I think the last one was announced
That,
poorly, in
yeah,
my opinion. It
it was very poorly done.
because it
Announced
was very much like it's next year, and then a week later tickets were on sale, and like, well, I mean, at least now you've got like a year to save for your
Yeah,
tickets.
exactly. Yeah, you've got
So
like a year and a bit
because not
to
everyone's got
just
that money just sat in the bank. Do you know what I mean? So
exactly like it's a. I don't get me wrong. Like I know, obviously, I I didn't pay for mine, but at the end of the day, it's still a lot of money, no matter what.
yeah,
Like obviously, if I'm gonna go to Japan, I've got to think about getting the ticket, getting the plane, getting an hotel, and having money to spend as
yeah.
well.
I mean,
Like
you're talking a
a
thousand for
lot.
your flights just straight off at back.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
and it,
mean? Like,
yeah, exactly. And
but
it's
if
the
you've got two
duration.
years to do that, it's not too bad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you could save the money for it. It's pretty like I
Because you
said,
just
it's
use a
like
year. You use a year to save for your hotel, your tickets for Star Wars Celebration, and then you use a year to save for your flights. Do you know what I mean?
exactly.
And it's that simple. You know, you can save quite if you budget yourself properly, you can save a lot. I mean, we just have to stop drinking shit monsters at work, spending it on Greg's fucking sandwiches in the morning. Me and Adam have become such whores for a Greg's sausage and bacon sandwich in the morning. It's like daily routine now. It is. But so stuff that got announced at Celebration, how do you? The stuff that got announced, I love. I do.
I'm
I just have a
you
gripe with it getting the way it gets announced. You get what I mean? Like when you're watching an
yeah,
E3 or something like that, it's like it's on for the world.
there is means and ways around it. Like even if it meant like we got say you pay to go to the celebration, so you get a minute and 30 trailer. Give the people that are watching the stream like make like a 45-second clip at least, because at least then you're still getting something,
But it's
but
not
you're not.
even that. It's like so E3 for instance, right? When you pay for them E3 tickets, yeah,
Yeah,
you see we see everything that everybody that's there see. But then for going to E3, like when they announced the Series S at the Series
yeah,
X at the X1, everybody in that hall got a Series X, right?
yeah.
Now Disney have got a lot more money than what Microsoft have. So what's the difference of right? Everybody gets to see this trailer. Here's a fucking lightsaber each. Do you know what I mean? Like that you can only get from being in that hall. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's not sold
yeah,
anywhere else. It's special to this hall, and you can only. And they're the things that because to me, going to celebration is not about seeing the trailer. You're not paying all that to see that. That's a bonus. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
And that shouldn't be the incentive to pay 400 quid for a ticket. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
The incentive should not be let's see a trailer. The incentive should be Star Wars and everything that's happening through the weekend. But a lot of people are now paying the money to just go and watch a trailer. That then,
yeah,
which I don't know any other like Comic Con doesn't do it. I mean, Comic Con do the odd trailer here and there that doesn't get shown to the public, but 90% of the trailers get shown to the general public at Comic Con.
I mean, to be fair, on that point of like things that get given out at cons and stuff like that. To be honest, thinking about it now, I was just looking on Work's website, and we've we've got the R2 and R4, R2 and R5, sorry, Funko Pop that was meant to be a Celebration
Yeah.
exclusive.
So then it's not. So you're not even getting
It
anything for paying all this money.
there.
Like the things that are supposed to be limited edition are not that limited. But you're
Yeah,
paying 400 quid to see a trailer that you might not even get in and see. So like some people that haven't gone that have paid to go to these gone to Star Wars for weekend, yeah, celebration,
yeah,
but didn't manage to get into the panels. Well, they're not even
yeah. They
getting to
didn't get
see
into
it.
the panel. The thing is with the panels is you had to be put into a lottery, and you didn't know until like a few days before you were going. So
Yeah.
like you could have ended up not going to
Or you
see
get
one
put
of
in a
them.
shit panel that you don't care
Yeah.
about. Do you know what I
I
mean?
mean, to be fair, yeah, to be fair though, I thought the one that we got given. So obviously we got the Lucasfilm panel and Bad Batch. I thought the Lucasfilm was going to be shit. Genuinely,
Yeah,
I thought it
you
was going to
said
be
that
shit.
to me, didn't you? Yeah.
And oh my god, it was the best panel that we had. Like
I,
I was so chuffed.
like that, but then if imagine you didn't get the Lucasfilm panel. So
Yeah.
then
It,
there's 400
oh god.
people around you that know about these trailers and that have seen it that are at the that have paid the same price that you've paid to be there, and you've not seen what they've seen.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I just think that's a bit. It's a bit shady. I genuinely believe that they should be releasing all that to the public. They should, and I don't get why you wouldn't want to anyway, because then that makes the hype better. Everybody's hyped around Star Wars. Did you see the new? Did you see that it's Star Wars Celebration weekend? Did you see the new fucking Ahsoka trailer? Well, the Ahsoka one got
Yeah.
released, but did you see the new fucking Skeleton Crew trailer? Did you see the new fucking? Do you know what I mean? Like the hype's there then, and then Star Wars gets talked about more on Twitter and blah 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 blah. And it comes, do you know what I mean? You make a big thing out of it, like Comic Con does, like E3 not anymore because E3 is dead, but like them things. So I don't. Yeah, it is what it is. It's just a little gripe. But the stuff that got announced was fucking
Mental.
mate. Acolyte.
I can't, dude. Like, don't, cause like I cannot wait. Like that, what we got was absolutely incredible for I'm not gonna lie, I was not expecting it at all. It
I wasn't expecting it to
completely
be what
threw
it
me
were.
off.
So just so you all know, I did get sent some dodgy trailers. I'm sure we've all seen them.
We
Um,
watched a few
yeah,
stuff.
we've all. I got sent a couple. Well, I got sent all the dodgy trailers. Inside Man and all. It wasn't Adam, just so you all know. But I got sent some dodgy trailers, and the Acolyte one. It's like they just. It's like the developers went right. Carl loves kung fu and Star Wars. Let's merge them together and make the perfect Star Wars for Carl, and I'm just like, take my fucking money. Like, I'll pay 30 quid Disney Plus to watch that.
To be fair though, I'm not gonna lie. I was at the start of hearing about the Acolyte, so before like I was actually getting like more and more excited about it. I was very, very sort of ooh with it just because I I say I'm not a fan of Leslie Headland. It's because I haven't seen anything that she's done. So I'm just like I was like I haven't seen anything you do, so I don't know what you direct. I don't know how you do your shows or your movies. I don't know what it's like. I don't know
Yeah.
what your vibe is. So like, mental. But then watching that trailer, I was like, "Oh, you are heavy.
Yeah.
Like you are
Heavy.
bringing it all,
Yeah.
and I
I,
cannot
yeah.
wait."
I don't want to talk too much about it because, like I say, I like the idea that you had earlier on where we'll talk about each show on different episodes. So
Yeah,
that we'll just go a quick rundown. So, Skeleton Crew, for me, I'm excited, but I'm not as
it's different.
excited. It's different.
Different aspects.
Yeah, and
It's different.
I
Like
wasn't
how it always.
expecting Jude Law to be a Jedi, another Jedi that survived Order 66.
How many
So,
more is?
But I don't think Skeleton Crew's shown enough. You know what I mean? Whereas I feel like Acolyte's shown a lot more of the tone and the vibe, whereas Skeleton Crew just didn't. You know, it were weird. It
Yeah.
were. What about what else were they? Andor season two.
Season 2 again. Can't wait for it.
Yeah,
Looks absolutely
it looked like more of Andor season one, and I'll be honest with you, I'm 100% down for
crazy
that.
though. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you can't go wrong. You just keep the same concept, in my opinion, of season one, and you know you're onto a winner. So, Andor season two, but we will talk about these in depth on different episodes. What else were they? So, Visions season two. For me, I'm not a massive fan of Visions personally.
So I liked them apart from obviously season 1. There was only a few. I think like one or two that I didn't really like.
I don't
Um,
dislike them. Do you know what I mean? It's just they're not
yeah,
my.
yeah, it's
You
just
know,
the type of thing, which
it's just
you know,
it's not
like
Star. That's not Star Wars to me. Do you know what I mean? It's
yeah,
Star
no,
Wars
I get that.
is getting to love the characters. Like I don't care about seeing these characters for 10 minutes and then never
Yeah, because
seeing them again.
one-off episodes and stuff
Yeah,
like that, and
and
yeah, that's
like I
fine.
said to you the other day, I've never woke up and thought, you know what, I rate one Star Wars, but in
Star
the
Wars.
style of Wallace and Gromit. I've never, you know, it's never crossed my
I'm
mind.
excited.
I would much rather you take the Visions premise with all the CG and what have you, or the animated side of stuff, and just
Yeah,
focus on like a Old Republic style show, like the trailers. Do you know what I mean? And just do that instead of wasting or a what if series. Like, what if
yeah,
Anakin didn't turn to the dark side? What if Mace Windu survived? Do you know what I mean? Like, just create new stories for the stories that we've already got, and just tweak it a little bit. Do you know what I mean? So,
I mean, it's, Visions 2 as well is quite the taste is very I got the vibe of it's very imperial
yeah,
based. So like we were getting a lot of like heavy like imperial Sith,
yeah.
whereas the first one was like
A lot of
all about the good
Jedi.
guys. Whereas
Yeah.
now this one's all about the sort of bad guys, which I like. Again,
I mean, like I say, I'll be
yeah,
watching it. Do you know what I mean? And I'll probably enjoy a few episodes. You know, I'll be like, that's cool. It's a cool animation. I'm not dissing on the animation or anything like that. Just the story for me is Star Wars. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah,
there's
it's
not
the
enough of that
concept.
in Visions. So, what else? And then obviously we got my Bay.
God,
All, all
mate,
hail
mate, mate,
Ahsoka.
damn,
Damn, damn, she
can't wait.
fine. Rosario Dawson, mate. She could overthrow Bo-Katan for me.
All three of them in that show
Yeah,
are
don't.
incredible. Like, damn,
Yeah,
can't
again,
wait
I
to see
wanna,
Ezra.
I want
Run,
Ahsoka. I want Ahsoka. I think we might do Ahsoka first because
do
that's
it.
the
Let's get
one
it
for
now.
me, and it's the next one
Yeah,
as well. So, but I don't want to go too deep into it here because I feel like it deserves its own like 30-minute, 40-minute segment on fucking how hyped we are for Ahsoka. But just know this: when I watched that trailer about 15 times the day it dropped, and
I keep going back to it.
yeah, I had a smile on my face every time I did. But then people, like I was telling Adam the other day, people messaging me and like, "What's this Ahsoka about? Like, who are these people?" And I'm like, well, "You need to watch Rebels."
Watch Rebels.
And I'm
Oh
like, "So
my
this is Sabine, this is Hera, this is." Do you know what I mean? And they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "Go and watch Rebels. Like, season one's a bit
gosh,
shaky, but once you get into Rebels, we fucking, and the Kanan moment is the most heartbreaking thing.
in any animation.
That gets worse the more you watch it.
You know, yeah, I agree with that 1,000%.
Because you watch the seasons again and you fall even more in love with Caden, and then it gets
You just
harder to watch each time.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
there was, I don't want to obviously jump towards the end. This is a spoiler if you've not seen Mando season 3 finale. But there's a point in the season 3 finale where obviously Grogu is stopping the fire,
Oh mate,
and I'm like, my motherfucker, I like you. He's doing what Kanan couldn't, and it really pissed me off.
What? I saw that low. I thought about it and I was like, hold on, don't hate this because surely to God he would have known this. And then like I was like, he's dead. Why couldn't he have done it?
No,
This is so
but
stupid.
basically what they're saying is Grogu's stronger than Kanan, and I'm like, no, because Kanan's the boy. Do you know what I mean? Like, the more you watch Rebels, like my favorite Jedi, have switched big time. You know, since rewatching. I think this is like third time I've rewatched Rebels this year. I can't stop with Star Wars and Clone Wars. But my favourite Jedi, mate, it used to be something like it was like Plo Koon, you know, Mace Windu. Now it's like no one from films are in there.
Yeah, you know
I,
what? I get that now. Like the only people that are from the films that are in mine is between Anakin and Kenobi.
so I love
That's
Anakin, but
it.
when he's a Jedi, do you know what I mean? But I won't say he's top five.
He's definitely one of mine.
I do love him, and I wish he'd have stayed there. I don't know if I've said this on podcast before, but you know, every time I watch Revenge at Sith,
Mate.
I'm just like, have I got a one-off copy somewhere where he just doesn't kill Mace Windu? Do you
Yeah,
know
you
what I
know,
mean? Like, am I just the lucky guy? Please, and then he always chops his arm off, and I'm like, motherfucker.
I always wish that as well, man.
Because I'm like, it comes to that scene, I'm like, don't do it, Anakin, don't do it, don't do it, Anakin, don't do it. Like, please let me just have a rare copy where he doesn't go to the dark side. And it upsets me every time he doesn't do it. It does. And that's Star Wars. Look at the smile on my face. But yeah, so yeah, let's jump into, because the only other stuff that were at fucking Celebration were young Jedi masters, whatever it were called.
Yeah, this.
Which, yeah, I mean, I'll watch it. But I don't think we're going to be featuring Young Jedi Masters or Adventures, or it's called, on the podcast because it's made for children. Don't worry, there's not going to be a Young Jedi Masters episode 1 review. So, so Mando season finale,
Right. So straight off the bat, I loved it. Right.
fucking
However,
insanely good.
right, I'm so happy that you agree with me on this because yesterday at work, Brayford came in and he was like, "Mate, what was all that shit about?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" It was like Mando the season finale. I was like, "What do you mean it's shit? It's incredible, dude. Like, I understand that you didn't like it, but yo, that
So,
was so
and I'll tell you exactly what that is, Adam. That is him not being I don't want to say not a fan because he's a fan, but not ingrained into the Star Wars universe as what we are. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it had everything for
it
me.
had it all, and it had one of the greatest Star Wars scenes you have ever seen in your fucking life. And I bet he doesn't appreciate it one bit. And it's the fucking where the Mandalorians are coming on the jetpacks, mate, and the Imperial troopers. I don't care what anybody says. You take any scene from Star Wars, that's better. I was like that. Oh my fucking god! The armor is just flying around, fucking hitting folk over the head with fucking armor, mate. It was so good. It and it had everything, like you say. The thing I think the reason people are not liking it is because you didn't get a Luke Skywalker, a Boba Fett, somebody turned up. It was a season finale about the people that had been through the season.
Yeah.
And they
And
saw a Zeb. They saw a Zeb and thought, "Oh, you know, Ghost Crew's going to turn up." Blah blah blah. No, it was literally. People are saying it felt more like a series finale than a season finale
yeah, I heard that.
because
Heard
it,
that a
it,
lot.
it ends on, you know, this chapter of Mando and Grogu are done, but it's far from it. I'm sure now Mando goes off and fucking fights Thrawn. Well, I mean, the New Republic stuff is how he gets tied into Thrawn. You know, obviously, it don't take a rocket scientist to fucking figure that out. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Like
go on.
one one of the things as well that I'd seen that a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but a handful of people are saying is like, so they teased Mythosaur and didn't do anything with it.
They did
So what
enough
was the
with
point?
it. They did
But
enough.
that's
Yeah,
kind
but
they're just tying it in so that they can use it later on. We saw it. We know it's alive. That's all that matters.
it's not.
They can use that now whenever.
It's not about
Whenever.
how much you use it. It's how you use it. So you put
Exactly.
it together, right? You have the whole Grogu joins the Creed. What happens? The first thing that happens when Grogu takes the Creed, what happens? You pan to the Mythosaur
Yeah.
and it opens its eye. It tells you all you need to know. Literally, that storytelling in 20 seconds without a word, with just visuals.
Exactly.
And the way that Dave Filoni thinks and the way that John Favreau thinks tells you everything that you need to know that Grogu going forward at that Mythosaur is massive. You don't need to have someone
I mean,
flying out on a Mythosaur and fucking wielding the Darksaber. Like, the Darksaber going, I actually love that the Darksaber got destroyed.
I do. I think they're gonna use something to do. I reckon they're gonna use the crystal for something.
So do I. I would agree with that. And, and you know what they're going to use it for? Grogu's lightsaber.
Yo, I didn't think of that, but yes, that's a shout.
This is what I'm saying. It all pans into each other, and they use it, and the right. So this show is all about, right. What we've got now is we've got two different creeds come together to retake Mandalore, to join forces to become one actual race. Do you know what I mean? Let's call them a race now, because you had two people that were for generations have been fighting at each other, that hated each other. Now they're one. They've retook Mandalore. They're all united. Yeah. The
Yeah,
dark saber's gone. The dark saber was the symbol of Mandalore. That's gone, but we're still united. We don't need the dark saber.
yeah,
Do you
exactly.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
We've united without the dark saber. We ain't got it anymore. We're still bowing to Bo-Katan. We still think she's the one. She doesn't have the dark saber. Technically, she lost it in battle, which by every creed going, she should be dishonored
yeah,
now. But no, we've changed our ways. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
And
That's like
all
the
we ever hear is
it,
this is the way. Maybe this is not the way. Maybe the way
yeah,
is the way that we're finding right now, and this is how we unite Mandalore properly. Do you know what I mean? We don't need all these fucking traditions and all these fucking, Don't get me wrong. It'd be badass to see Grogu jump out of water on a fucking mythosaur with his fucking lightsaber out. It would,
yeah.
but that's lazy
Yeah.
storytelling, in my opinion.
It is, yeah, because it's too
Yeah,
obvious.
it's too
That's
obvious.
what it is. It's
And then
like,
the
well, I don't want
but then the
obvious
problem
shit.
is with the obvious, you get the Rise of Skywalker. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You go
I
too
think we've
simple with
got to.
it, you get Rise of Skywalker, which everyone hates. But then when you go too in depth with, well, not in depth, but the thing is Star Wars fans don't know what they want.
No, a lot of us don't, and it's like, oh, for me personally, all I want is just Star Wars
Yeah,
content.
I loved that episode so much. And if you go back and watch it and just proper take it in and think about things whilst you're watching it, you'll love it a lot more than what you do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Instead of just looking at it as Star Wars and Luke didn't turn up with his lightsaber and chop some heads off, which is cool,
yeah,
don't get me wrong. I fucking love that. That scene is probably one of my favourite. That literally it made me cry when Luke come back. Do you know what I mean? Like, because that's my Luke Skywalker, not the fucking Last Jedi shit that we got. That's my Luke Skywalker. Because I remember I read the expanded universe and blah 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 blah. That's my Luke Skywalker, a bad hard
yeah,
motherfucker that doesn't take no shit. That's the Luke that I know, not a fucking hermit that sat drinking fucking cow's milk from a fucking crazy whatever it is. So I love that shit as much as the next person, but I also love the fact that you can take two scenes and it tells so much. You know,
yeah, yeah.
it
Exactly,
does.
exactly. And
So
it's
yeah,
like you say, with it, Grogu going in the like looking down at the water, and obviously the Mythosaur's eye then opening up. That goes to show though that he's gonna have something to do with it,
yeah,
but we're not getting it just yet. They've got to tease it in. They've got to reel it in. They've got to reel us in and make us think about it.
And you know where
Like,
something as big as that'll happen? Oh wait, in a film.
yeah, exactly. Because that's it. I think they get. I think they are gonna. I think they're gonna possibly do the film, maybe tie it off after after Ahsoka season 4 of Mando, and then the film.
I don't think Mando ends anytime soon. You know, I think
No, I
you
think
get season
they
4 a
were
film,
saying.
and then you get season 5 and 6.
Well,
Or
the thing is, he's got to write it though, and he as well, Dave. And,
well, no, he says he's already wrote it. He's already got a right. He's already wrote season 4. Yeah,
he did it with he said it with ET News, I think.
but I think
Yeah,
personally, so I don't think we get a Mando season until after this film. But look at it like Avengers style. So this is phase
yeah,
1 of Mando. Still, the
yeah,
film ends phase 1. Yeah,
yeah.
season 2 kicks off phase 2. Season 4 kicks off phase 2. 3 seasons, another film. I think that's how it goes, and
I think that would be a sensible way of doing it. It'd be a good way to
and
bring
it
in
just
the money as
and it just brings all the other
well.
shows together for one episode. You have, I think, the film that you get, the Mando, because they called it the Mando verse film, is going to have everybody in it. It's going to have Boba Fett. It's going to have Mando. It's going to have
Nice, all the skeleton crew
yeah,
stuff. So
Ahsoka. Everyone's going to be in there, and the big bad will be
yeah.
Thrawn. It will.
Oh yeah, 100%. I don't think he's gonna die or anything like that in Ahsoka.
No, Thrawn will show up in Ahsoka. He'll also be the big bad in Skeleton Crew. So you get enough of him. So do you know what I mean? You get enough of
Yeah,
Thrawn to know who the big bad is in the Mandoverse film,
yeah. I agree with that. I agree
and
with that
then
100%.
and then that stops, and then obviously season, because we've had a lot of the cloning stuff. So then we maybe thought that the cloning stuff would be Snoke, but obviously it turned out to be that he was cloning himself. I don't think what's his name's dead personally.
Off Gideon.
Yeah, I don't think he's
So
gone.
I heard a theory. Now, I'm in two minds about it. One mind is saying that it's absolutely like it's one of the most bizarre theories I've heard, but the other one, my other side is also then thinking, well, there is a possibility. Um, but the Moff Gideon that we saw was a clone.
Yeah, that Moff Gideon's a clone. So I saw
There's
someone post some images, and it were like the Moff Gideon in
he
season
had
1, the mustache.
no
Yeah,
mustache. Yeah, and all the clones had no mustache, and they
yeah.
looked very clean, proper.
So I don't think that's the Moff Gideon that we think it is. Um, but Thrawn's the big bad of it all. He's the Thanos of this season. And then you move in, and then maybe the cloning stuff goes into Snoke after that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Uh,
so somebody else
wait,
finds the Snoke stuff. The first, because you've got Hux obviously was in it, so that's referring to Hux from the First Order, which obviously all moves across. Do you know what I mean? So you move from what we've got now to the First Order to the. Do you know what I mean? It's all there. I'm telling you. Um, you what? Sorry.
I think we're Armitage Hooks or something
Yeah,
like
something
that.
like that. Which is played by the guy in real life's brother.
I read Thingy Gleason's
Yeah,
brother.
it's his actual brother.
Oh my god, didn't realize
Yeah,
that.
it's mad that it is. But yeah, fucking just that episode in general was like, I think it's
Like
my
we
favorite
said,
season finale. I do. I genuinely do.
right? Like we said at the start, we got everything.
Yep.
Like we got emotion, we got adventure, we got action. You know, we got a big like oh my god moment and a big like no moment
Yeah.
sort of thing. So we we got everything
I thought
really.
Bo-Katan, when Bo-Katan comes in and saves him, ooh, and she's like, go and get your boy. I'm like, yes, Bo, you fucking absolute bay.
She is an incredible character, and that Katie Sackhoff is one incredible woman.
Yeah, I
Like,
love her. She's moved straight up to top for me, mate, as one of my favorite Star Wars
I
characters. Just her and Din need to, start getting a bit jiggy with it now. I'm telling you, she needs to be Grogu's mama. Grogu needs a mama. Yeah. And I love that they call him Din Grogu now. Oh, when he said that, you are now Din Grogu. Or like, yes. And may I add, for all you bastards out there that were putting shame on the armorer's name, saying that she were a traitor and that she were going to do this and she were going to do that, you all need to apologise. Because I had faith in her throughout.
Right.
There's no way that she was working with Moff Gideon. Are you all mad? You're all moving on some mad shit. The
Right.
armourer was always through and through. I saw you all on TikTok with your mad theories. Oh, the armourer's working with Moff Gideon. No, she ain't. She's true to the creed, yeah? So y'all need to apologise. They
But it's
do.
like I just because that episode was so like they do that on purpose, and again I was saying this to Chris, like, look, at the end of the day, they do this sort of stuff on purpose to
Yeah,
throw you off the scent, so you don't end up getting it right and then being like, oh well, this is shit. I'm not watching this again.
yeah.
Really easy to tell what happens. They do that on purpose. That's the
Oh
whole
yeah,
point.
there's no. It's like season
Throw-
2. There's no way you were fucking telling that fucking Luke Skywalker were turning up.
Exactly. And it's like you're telling me that they would have just like let you easily guess the ending. No.
Nah.
They, they know Dave and John know what they're doing. They have all this planned out. Like
Yeah,
they've got enough experience behind their belt to be like, right, we need to do this so it throws them
yeah.
off.
You
And
think
I'm
for a fact
telling
that
you,
they? Well, I mean, they even told Rosario Dawson that she'd be doing a scene with Plough Koon, didn't they? How she didn't
yeah,
figure that? How she didn't figure that out is beyond me. Because I'd have been like, well, Plough Koon's dead. How the fuck am I
exactly.
doing a fucking scene with Plough Koon?
No idea. We on a freaking clone mission.
Yeah.
So
So,
like, how did that happen?
but do you know what I mean? That small things like that. It's they're
Yeah,
well established in making shows, and they love Star Wars. They love Star Wars enough to not want Star Wars to get spoiled for people like us. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Because they know that we live in an age of spoilers,
yeah.
which is, and it's too easy to get these spoilers these days. So that's why, you know, back in day you couldn't spoil Star Wars because you had to tell one man, and then one man had to tell another man. It had to travel the whole world. Now you just put it on Twitter. Do you know what I mean? And it's fucking gone. But
Yeah.
they know what they're doing, and I have full faith. Like, that was my favorite film that got announced at Star Wars Celebration, the Mandoverse one, apart from the
Yeah,
first Jedi, because that is interesting.
yeah. I'm. I must admit, I am interested, very interested in that. Um, I don't know what else really to say other than I'm happy James Mangold is
Yeah,
doing it.
the fact that James Mangold's doing it, because I feel like it's going to be like a, I don't know, I want to
I
say
don't
like
know.
a western, but maybe I don't know.
Like they could do it in multitude of different ways, multitude of different
The
ways.
first, and I hope they stick to some kind of way that they've already announced it in EU and stuff like that, with the Jedi and the Sith breaking off
Yeah,
from him and things like that. Hey, up, Mando. I think Mando wanted to make an appearance on the podcast and give me a kiss. But yeah, I hope they keep. I hope they keep some aspect of that. I'd love to see the first like civil war between the Jedi and the Sith. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, because I think he's doing the. Is it? I think it's a trilogy. I'm not sure if it's him that's doing the, or if it's the Ray one that's a trilogy. I can't
I can't
remember.
remember what got announced. It was the first one, the Mandoverse. There was the
Was it?
Ray one. Weren't they
No,
four?
no, there were James Mangold's, Dave Filoni's, and then the woman who did Miss Marvel's doing the new Jedi Order one.
Not even talk about Miss Marvel. That's another that's another basket of eggs to even dip into. You know, the thing is that it makes it look like I hate on it, and it's not.
No,
It's
this is the thing. It's the way the characters are written. It's not that you hate said
I don't hate
characters.
Daisy Ridley. I
Yeah,
genuinely don't.
it like I say, it's how they're written, and I think sometimes people find it hard because there is people out there, unfortunately, that do hate on the actors and the
Yeah,
actresses
which I've
for
never
the characters
understood.
they play. And Yeah, exactly. It just doesn't make any sense. They're only doing what their job is, and that's to act out a script that they've been given by the
Yeah,
writer and the director. I assume as well has some involvement. But like, you're not hating on it because of them. You're hating because, like I say, is the fact that they're not written well, or they haven't been written to a degree where it's at least plausible
yeah,
for you to be like, oh, okay, that actually makes a bit of sense.
yeah.
Because that's a little bit more understandable. Like,
I think Daisy Ridley
so
is actually pretty cool. I've seen her in. She did a film with Tom Holland, and I actually quite like that film.
yes, I know which one you're about. That's an incredible film.
Yeah, I actually
Yes.
quite like that film. So, I think she's a good actor. I genuinely do. I just think the writing of Ray was a bit. I'm no. I'd have
Yeah.
preferred her to be nobody than to be Palpatine, or at least take the name of Palpatine on. You know, rather than I'm a Skywalker now. No, the Skywalker generation. The Skywalker generation just literally like
Because if you
it.
think about it, it is supposed to be ending that the
Yeah,
Skywalker trilogy, and
and
she's
then
doing
she's carrying
another
on.
trilogy. That's will that not carry it on?
And it's the whole bringing Palpatine back, kind of like it just it makes it Anakin's redemption just void. Do you know what I mean? It's like we've gone through Anakin's whole arc of he were Anakin, he were good, he were bad, and he were bad for a long time, and then he finally redeemed himself for his kids and for the galaxy, and he was the chosen one, and then oh wait, he survived. Right, well, what were the point? Do you know what I mean? It's like it just it dampens it, in my opinion. It brings it down. It makes it all irrelevant. What was the point in the
Yeah,
sacrifice if you're just going to bring him back? Make somebody
yeah,
else. Make Snoke the big bad. Or
yeah. They could have.
again, I think I've mentioned this on this podcast, but there isn't. There is. You go to a YouTube channel called Mr. Sunday Movies, and he's got a video on there about the Last Jedi and the original script, and he's done it as like a cartoon. And the original script, blah 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 blah, is all on there. If you go and watch that Last Jedi, I would have fucking loved. And then if we'd have got the Star Wars after that Ryan Johnson was promised, then it'd have been so much better. But we didn't get that. We got the Last Jedi that not the directors, the execs at Disney were like, well, no, we need this and we need this and we've got to have this. Do you know what I mean? So he didn't get to make the film that he wanted to make. Do you get what I mean? He didn't get to tell the
Yeah,
story that Ryan Johnson wanted to take. Which, if you go and watch that video, the story that he wanted to tell was fucking incredible. It were like, but then it were well, let's fall back to J.J. Abrams. He did Force Awakens, and it did loads of money. But then J.J. Abrams were like, well, I'll do it, but I'm making a Star Wars film that you want to make. It's just all I don't know. Hopefully now it's in better hands. It is. I don't want to end again. I don't want to end this on a sad note either because there's been an incredible couple of weeks of Star Wars content, and we've still got a week for it to come with Jedi Survivor and my boy Cal. Me and Adam are very pumped for that.
no.
We've had to share the weekend. Because Chris, the other Chris at work, is selfishly took a week off over Star Wars. Can't believe you've done this. It's just selfish of you, Chris, is all I'm saying. Um, so we've had to share days off to play Star Wars. We've even had to do half day each Saturday.
which is which is
Which never happens, may I add. Never happens. But we've sorted it. But yeah, there's a lot of Star Wars content coming. Again, I'm off on May the 4th. Oh shit! I need to check that. Make sure you're off on May the 4th. Um, I'll sort that tomorrow. Don't worry. But yeah, don't take that little rant at the end as because I'm in such a good place for Star Wars.
well, on the positive spin of that though, at the minute it's so. I hope this rumor becomes true,
Go on.
but it's rumored that John Boyega might be coming back for the the trilogy movie of Rey's New Jedi Order.
Oh, please, just give him Jedi. Just
But
give him.
there's not at the minute. There is nothing detail wise on what on what Finn's going to be.
Just
Whether
give him
that's
the
going to be
Force.
whether it's going to be a captain in the Resistance, or whether that be a Jedi,
I
a
would just
Sith.
no, just Jedi
What?
him up. Didn't they? They did some at end of. I can't remember, but I haven't watched Rise of Skywalker in a long time. Don't they allude to him being being Force sensitive?
On one of them, they do, yeah. And I think he says something that sort of like hints away at it. That's it. He wants to tell Ray something, but he doesn't know how to.
Yeah, because
And
you're
ev-
always assuming that he wants to smash Ray, don't you? And I'm
yeah,
pretty
and
sure he does something as well that's at the end
yeah,
that shows not just the talking to Ray. I'm pretty sure he does something. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that film just for that one bit because I'm pretty sure they allude to him being Force sensitive.
yeah. It's a rumor at the minute, so I hope to God that becomes true,
And then we might
because then that
actually also see, Brush Boy at end of Last Jedi that moves his brush with Force.
yeah, I want to see that, because I hate it when they do that. You see someone, you see him have force abilities, and then we never see him again.
Yeah, my man moved that brush like he were adept in Force and all. Do you know what I mean? Like he knew what he were doing. And then we're not even going to
Yeah.
mention that in Force Awakens in Rise. No, fucking hell. Yeah, Rise of Skywalker. Felt like my mum then. You know when your mum shouts you and she goes through all your siblings' names before she gets to you. Stick that car. But yeah, so Brush Boy might make a return. But if they're going to do Finn again, just make him a Jedi. Even if they've not alluded to him being a Jedi, I'll just accept that Finn turns up at, oh yeah, I've got Force powers. I'll accept that because that's what I wanted to see from day one anyway.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Job Egg is a sick actor. He
yeah, I love John
does it.
Boyega. From what he did in Attack the Block to Star Wars, incredible. Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah,
Yeah.
positive for Star Wars at the moment. Hopefully, the only negative about the Rey shit, just don't make her pregnant because that'll piss me off. It
Oh,
will.
photo that was dreadful.
If we force impregnate Rey with Ben's kid, I'm done ski. I'm moving over to Star Trek. Welcome to Star Trek and Coffee on a Tuesday. So yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, positive Star Wars stuff coming. Again, that's coming up to the hour mark. We are back again. I love what Adam said earlier on about episodes based on this everything in-depth dives of the stuff that's coming for Star Wars. So look out for them in the future weeks coming. Oh, you want to add that on?
No, that's it really. There's, like I said, there's no figure wise again. There's no really new apart from like Cad Bane and Cobb Vanth double pack.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
The,
Are you going to be streaming Star Wars at all?
so I'm going to try and get a new PC because it is not my PC at the minute is not capable of streaming
Right.
and
Okay.
playing Jedi. So I
Well, have you
may
got a
need to
PlayStation 5?
have.
I have an Elgato right here that would give you the ability to stream from a PlayStation 5 to your PC. So I could do that for you because I don't use the Elgato at all. Like it is rendered useless at the moment. I haven't got a console, so I don't use it. So you can use it for now if you want to do it. Leave a comment down below if you want to see Adam stream Star Wars. I'm sure he will. I'll take that to work for him tomorrow and I'll give it him. So I'm guessing Adam will be streaming Star Wars next Friday. I will also be streaming Star Wars next Friday, so depends who you want to come and watch. Probably Adam more than me, because I'll probably be jumping off quite a lot to go and play my other game, which is, you'll see if you join the. I'm not even going to go into it. Yeah.
There, I think no other way. There we
What?
go. All my
Yeah,
figures.
yeah, all his figures. Just go and watch Adam. I'll be jumping in and out of Star Wars. That's the problem. So if you want to just watch Star Wars, Adam's better to go and watch. For me, it'll be like 2 hours, then I've got to go on something else, then 2 hours, then I've got to go on something else. So it'll be a lot of jumping in and out. So, yeah, Adam's probably the best for you to go and watch. Other than that, we'll see you next week. Yeah,
sounds good.
yeah. I mean, there's nothing more to say other than that. And then, yeah, I mean, end of the podcast. We're back, baby. I ain't got a quote. I ain't got a quote for you this week. About there are more of us, Poe. There are more of us. That one was shit. It was the first one that popped to my head. I don't know why. Bye. Follow us on all the socials. Blah 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 blah. May the force be with you. See you later. Peace.
See you later.